few months ago, and he said that nothing could replace the drug, the adrenaline, and the excitement of Formula One. Do you miss that, and have you felt that absence?
Probably I'm not long enough out of it. No, I have not. And I had the possibility to come back for some or one or the other team, and I didn't really feel like it anymore. I just feel absolutely happy and delighted with the life that I can live now. The freedom, and that's the big thing, the freedom that I have to decide in the morning, okay, this morning we're going to do this, and next morning another thing, despite my active role in Ferrari. But it's time that I can organize and plan very well and simply be home when the kids have holidays.
It's interesting you've got the discipline to do that, because you look at throughout sport, heavyweight champions, so many different types of tennis players, etc. They're all tempted back for just one more shot at it. Did you not come back because the team wouldn't keep you at the top? Was that the difference? Did you want to just keep your legacy intact?
No, I had the chance to be even back at a top-end team, not only to develop other things. The point is, no, I don't feel like it. I'm simply empty. When I did here and there the test, yeah. I enjoyed doing it.
You're still very fast.
I'm still in shape, yeah. But the point is that why?
Well, why? Because you've done it.
Yes, there's nothing to do. I did all I could do, and there's nothing else that I can top. For my own satisfaction, nothing else. I can only lose, and I don't like losing, to be honest. I'm quite accepting it on a two-wheel because I know I can't do, and for me I'm winning anyway because there's still quite a few behind me, despite the ones in front of me, but that's pure pleasure and fun.
You were always very focused and very disciplined as a driver and very professional. You're much more relaxed now, we can see that in your demeanour. Do you feel it physically? Do you feel that you're a different character?
No, because when you be in such a position, and if you compete on that level, at least I was like this, I could not let go. Permanently, somehow, in one or another way, I was thinking of the next race, the next event, the next test, the next championship in front of you. Always focused, always around. And the Formula One world, it's a great world, but it has some heavy stones around that you have to carry and that you have to look after, that you have to think as well of. And I just was too tired to carry those stones anymore.
Do people, you've been out of Formula One, or taken half a step back anyway for a while. How do you think you're being perceived by history? Do people have the right impression of you as a driver? Because do they know the real Michael Schumacher?
No, they don't know. They cannot know, because I was not really open enough in the time of my activity, or very seldom I was able. And it comes back to the question of before. I am certainly much more open, much more free, much more relaxed than I have been before. With my friends, yes, indeed, I was free and open, certainly with my family. But those are moments that I was private, so the public knows maybe now a little bit more about the real Michael Schumacher than they could have done before.
What's it like at home? It's sometimes a bit of a shock when the husband's suddenly in the house a lot. Has it been good for the family, good for the wife, or is it a bit scary?
No, not at all, not at all.
Real business, the Formula One season's reaching its climax now. Who's got the edge? Is Lewis Hamilton's within touching distance? Can he make it, or is it still Ferrari's to claim?
Put it this way, my heart is red, 100%. So naturally I cross fingers for Felipe, that I have as well a personal and close relationship to. We have Kimi that is going to support him as much as possible. Only 7 points and 3 races to go. It looked much worse last year by 2 races to go, so why not?
I know this is a difficult question because of your Ferrari allegiances, but in terms of raw talent, is Hamilton something special? Because the reason I say this, because in the wet, it seems that the best drivers seem to be able to produce something special. You were always a master in wet conditions. It seems to make the difference between the good driver and the great driver. Does Hamilton have a little bit of that, do you think?
In a way, probably yes, but then is the question, what car has he? Because I remember from my own situation in '95, we had a car that was really difficult to drive. We won the championship. I don't know how, but it was such a sharp. I call it sharp car because it had a small window, a little bit too much, and off you were. And especially in the wet, it was a disaster. And when then I went to Ferrari, and I was driving this 95 Ferrari because there was a race in Nürburgring. On slicks we were hopeless, we were gone completely in the wet condition, and Ferrari was driving like on dry with slicks, although it was wet. I understood why when I jumped into this car. For whatever reason, this car you could have driven with slicks in wet condition, no problem. Impossible with the Benetton car. I see our cars a little bit that we're running right now like a Benetton. It's very strong, very sharp, but sometimes difficult. So the drivers like Felipe in Silverstone don't always look very good. But I'm afraid, I guess that even a highly talented Lewis would struggle to drive this car. But I cannot judge how is his car to drive. From the look of it, it looks easier in this condition, but maybe he makes it easier. So in this sense, without knowing the details, I don't think it's fair to comment. Matter of fact, if you look Monte Carlo, Felipe was just flying away in the wet, and in a way it's funny, but thanks to the mistake Hamilton did, crashing into the wall, it then secured his victory afterwards. So circumstance, coincidence, luck, ability, it's a big mixture, and it's difficult to judge when you don't know everything.
People probably don't know that you raced against Lewis Hamilton in the 90s in go-karts.
Yeah.
Was that your father's circuit, wasn't it? Do you remember anything of that?
I remember a little bit. I didn't know it was Lewis there actually, but I remember it was Rosberg there. I was fighting actually a little bit with him. It was a wet race, which normally I'm very strong in. Kerpen in the wet, normally nobody beats me. Unfortunately, in this year we had a go-kart that was really difficult. It was fantastic in the dry, but undrivable in the wet.
You finished second on the day.
I did.
I checked the records, and Lewis finished 7th. Now, at the time, you were quoted as saying, "I don't even know if you knew who he was," and he was very strong. But you said significantly that he had the right racing mentality to succeed at F1 from what you'd seen of whoever this driver was. I found the old quote. I know you're frowning, but
no, I'm afraid I'm sorry to say so, but I didn't really know that Lewis was racing with me at the time. So I don't
you
think
beat him anyway. Don't worry.
No, it's not about this, but I don't think it's fair to quote something that I didn't. I really rate him very highly because I think what he has done in such short time, just arriving and competing last year with Alonso and being very often quicker. That talks for itself, quite honestly. But then I'm always a little bit concerned when we talk about, is he the best, is he not the best, is he better than Felipe Massa or not? I think you have to look at the circumstance, and they not always are very straightforward and very clear to understand from the outside.
But at 23, how would he compare to you at 23? Is he more advanced, or has he still got plenty to learn?
I think that the whole generation in nowadays is more advanced in a way, due to the development that they fall into. It's much more professional in the lower level of Formula classes than it used to be in nowadays. When I arrived to Formula One, yes, telemetry was already there, but it's nothing to what it is now. I don't remember before I went to Mercedes that I saw telemetry. I didn't know what it was. So you see, they've grown up much more efficient in these days.
And simulators and so on. Now, so much.
Yes.
Can any driver today dominate Formula One the way you did? Can somebody like Lewis pick up a world title and then get 7 world titles, or is that something that's just beyond the bounds of the modern age?
I would say absolutely yes, because nobody thought, and neither me, myself, I thought I could beat the 5 of Fangio, and then I did, and I even increased it to 7. Records are there to be beaten, and I'm quite relaxed that one day it will happen, whether it's Lewis, whether it's Massa, or it's Sebastian Vettel, or whoever. It might be somebody of the current or of the future that could or will do it. I have no problem about it.
What's happened to Kimi this season? Because Kimi Raikkonen's world champion, of course, and now he's in a supporting role for Massa. What has happened to him this year? Is it just bad luck, or is it a little bit of lack of application, or what is it about him?
No, I think I have to protect him in many ways, because in the middle of the season we made some developments to the car that they looked quicker to our drivers, but it took us a little while to understand they were quicker in general for Felipe, but Kimi simply didn't get on with this one. The moment we went back with those changes, we put him back into competitive lap times. So you see, it's always a combination. You have to work very hard with the team, and in this way, Kimi is only the second year with us. So it is still a transition time. Felipe already is quite a bit longer with us. He's still in a way in certain moments in a transition time to get the team to know, and we to get him to know, and unfortunately we have faced those problems.
You have a good relationship with Felipe Massa, and he looks to you for guidance. Do you get that same relationship with Kimi, or is he own man?
I have a very different relationship to Kimi and to Felipe, naturally. In a way, it is his strengths. Talking of Kimi, that he has a very, how you say, focused vision without needing assistance, and maybe sometimes it doesn't always help him. That we could maybe help him more if he would ask for it. So you have, but it's in every character. You have up and downs.
See, I can't understand it. If I was a golfer and Tiger Woods said to me, "I can help you with your swing," I'd be on bended knee. So I can't understand why people wouldn't come to you for advice. As a facility, it's an amazing.
Yeah, tell me another great golfer.
Another great golfer. Well, there you go. Exactly.
Tell me another great golfer.
Another great golfer in history. Well, British Nick Faldo, maybe.
Yeah. Do you think he would have gone to Tiger Woods to ask him his advice?
That's a good question.
Probably not.
That's a very good question.
You and my skills of golf, yes, we would be happy to have advice from him, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I understand. I see your point. Thank you very much for correcting me. Just looking ahead then, if it goes down to Interlagos as it did last year, Ferrari managed to get at Hamilton last year. You know, they rattled him because they're very strong at Interlagos traditionally. Is there a flaw in Lewis's makeup that Ferrari can use if it gets to that stage, if it gets to the last?
I'm pretty sure that Lewis is and must be concerned, because he has 7 points. It's better than to be in the other position, but it doesn't give him any security with 3 races to go. Knowing our strengths, that if we get things absolutely right, we're capable of beating them. And we're probably capable of beating them with 2 drivers. That decreases the points pretty quickly. This can be only our strategy. I mean, it's very clear, very open. We'll have simply to look at ourselves, make the best job, and get a 1-2 in for the next 3 races.
Will Ferrari have lost this World Championship, or will McLaren have won it? Because there's been some technical glitches and the little pit stop hiccups here and there. Is it Ferrari's to lose, or how do you view it?
I think you need to summarize everything closer to the end of the season and then make a package. But in the end, the winner is who is up front by the end, and the rest will not have won for various reasons. Whether you then feel as a loser, or sometimes you can still feel very excited about the second position. I did occasionally, not always, but occasionally.
I bet you didn't. Thanks, Michael.
You're welcome.
Pleasure. Thank you for your time.